Bill Cecil again with the tip of the day. Hey, today I want to talk about the third strategy that I use, and my fourth strategy is called setting the table for success that will help you to build a winning team in your classroom at the start of the year. Remember, the first strategy was to, as a leader, to have a shared vision, to create a shared vision with your team. The second strategy was take time to build your team, team building. And now the third strategy is to teach, model, and practice the procedures you want your kids to follow on a daily basis. Teach, model, and practice the procedures you want your kids to follow. This is basic Harry Wong. If you go down right now on a piece of paper and write down a list of all the different procedures you have in your room, you'd be amazed. Think about some of the procedures you have. For example, what do your kids do when the first bell rings? If you have a two-bell system, like when they come into the building, what do they do when the second bell rings? What will they do when they have to turn in homework assignments versus a parent note in your room? When are they allowed to sharpen their pencil? When will they allow to get Kleenex? Do they know the procedure of how to light up and move from one place to another place? I mean, you could go on and on and on and list all the procedures you have in your room. Don't make the assumption that kids are coming into you knowing the procedures or will know your procedures. Every year is a new year for them. Remember, this isn't their home. They have different procedures for their home life. This is work life. And even teachers from last year may do things differently. So you have to invest the time at the beginning of the year to teach, model, and practice and celebrate the procedures you want your kids to follow so that they'll do them more often. By investing this time, what happens is you're going to cut down on a lot of frustration during the year, and you'll have more time to teach, which is what you want to do. And the kids will have more time to learn. So it's worth the time right now to go through in your mind and list out your most important procedures that you're going to want your kids to follow during the year. And I consider a procedure as something that you do on a daily basis that you don't have to think about anymore, you just do it. For example, in the morning, even before I get to work, I follow some procedures. When I take a shower in the morning, I can take a shower and dry off and be dressed and not even think about doing it. It just happens on its own. It sort of goes into autopilot. Same thing with driving a car to work. Yes, I'm aware and I'm conscious and I'm paying attention, but there's so many little things about which order do I do when I first get in the car. Do I put the seatbelt on? Do I turn the key, put the key in? What do I do? Do I adjust the mirrors? It's all down because it's become a procedure. I don't even have to think about it. That's what you want in your classroom. You want to set up procedures for the things that your kids are going to do most often in your room on a daily basis so they don't have to think about it and you don't have to keep reteaching it. This is going to make a big difference in your life. For example, in my classroom, kids know the difference between when they're allowed to sharpen their pencil and when they're allowed to get a Kleenex. The wall sharpener is sort of loud, so the rule is you're never, ever, ever allowed to get up during a teacher's presentation, a guest presentation, or somebody else speaking in the class and go over and sharpen your pencil. Why? Because it's rude. And I would never let anyone do that to you, I tell them. Also tell them why you're doing the procedures, why they make sense. Now, Kleenex, if something's hanging out of your nose, that's a distraction, it's embarrassing, please get up immediately, go get a Kleenex, use a hand sanitizer, you're fine to get up at any time as long as that's what you're doing. Make sure you break down your room's procedures as much as you can. If you think about it, in the military, that's the first thing they do with their cadets or with their young soldiers, is that they tear down all their ways of doing things. As simply as how to stand in a line, how to answer, how to dress, how to march. All these things lead up to bigger procedures, how to do more complicated things, which definitely are important, but it starts with the simple things. They don't take anything for granted in the military. They want to teach them their way. Same thing in your classroom. Teach them your way. Don't have them come in with you assuming they should already know what to do. Take the time. Do 2 a day. Find your 2 most procedures. Make a list of 10. Take 2 a day for the first week. Nail them out. For the first 2 weeks, you'll cover 20 of your procedures. It's worth it. Take the time to teach, model, and practice and celebrate your procedures, and I guarantee you'll have more time to teach this year and less gray hairs like I do. Hey, remember, best year ever. You have the power to make it happen.